Hi guys, for bear hug escape number 2. This is for underneath the arms, and we've got a couple variations for this one. The very beginning one is simply stripping the grip, turning and moving into either strikes, knee strikes, elbows, punches, whatever, palm strikes as needed for the counterattack. The other is to move into a grappling move, and one of the grappling moves that we teach off of this is a power hammerlock. So a Kimura type movement, and we're going to finish breaking the shoulder. All right. So of course, in training, you don't break a burner shoulder. You simply go for the submission. But we should understand the pressures that will lead to the ability to snap the shoulder. Right. So we need to understand exactly how to work our body and work the shoulder in order to achieve that end. So starting off, what we're basically going to do is we're going to drop, and usually I'll stagger my foot position long here, so that I get a little bit more distance, stripping the grip and popping, turning in. Okay, that's going to be the beginning. And I can turn basically either way, but I tend to turn with the nearest side, right? If I go this way, I'll need to move back, and that's fine. And we typically do that in the armbar version rather than in just the standard version, although both are acceptable pieces of footwork, right? I can just simply turn, or I can move through and turn. Either one is fine. So that's bear hug number 2. For this, we're gonna get just C grip. So shove your thumbs in right at the opponent's hand. 2 hands on the opponent's 1 hand. So if he's got me underneath the hips, for example, then I'm gonna attack right there, right at his wrist, whatever the top hand is. Boom. Now, I'm gonna bridge, pop. I'm gonna turn, here, move to my counter strikes. Let's see it from this angle. I'm gonna drop, attack that top arm, bridge, move into counter strikes. Let's try it from one more angle. So from this angle, from this side, I'm gonna drop, I'm gonna bridge, I'm gonna turn, boom, and strike. So that's really what you're after, just being able to break the grip and get out. Remember, for all things bear hug, if I drop and I bridge and I don't achieve my exit, my ability to escape on the first one, I could always try that again. But your first chance is often your best chance, especially utilizing an explosive, clean movement combined with surprise, right? All right, so if we go to the next variation, this next variation is done for the blue sash level and above, so level 3 and above groups. Level 3 and above will be working toward an armbar. So I might drop and start working for this here and pop, and now I've got a Kimura grip. So let me show you this grip real quick. I'm going over the elbow, right to the wrist, and grabbing my own wrist. Now what's important about this is that I'm pushing this arm, right? Not pulling. So if I'm pulling, I really don't have a grip. Even if I've got a C-clamp, I can't pull. That's not a functional move. What I can do is I can push. That's a strong move. So I'm clamping here and pushing here, right? That's my two-way pressure following the line of the pinky. Elbows this way, that's the fulcrum. Lever moves equal and opposite, and that's how I achieve my move, right? So I'm squeezing in and getting this two-way action reinforced through my own arms. So again, I'm dropping, pop, drag. Now I can start getting that tap right from the beginning. That's where you should get it. I'm low on this move, right? One of the ways that you can set this up to make sure you're not creating an extra vulnerability for yourself for another counterattack is to drag him out of place. So this tends to be useful as we get farther along with this move and get more comfortable with it. But as I'm breaking out, boom, I'll drag him down. Did you see him have to take that extra step? And now I can attack with that same type of movement, all right? I want to be careful not to raise up and just rotate, because what you'll do is you'll be like a cat chasing the tail or a dog chasing the tail, right? Just moving in circles together. What I want to think about doing is having that rotation break him in such a way that I'm creating a single line rather than a circular motion. I want to cut that circle with a straight line. So one more time, he grabs me, I pop, I attack. Now, I could rotate, right? And watch him rotate with me. This is the mistake. Okay, now I gotta get ahead of his position. Can I achieve it? Yes, potentially you could. We saw that happen in competition with Sakuraba versus Gracie. Right, way back in the day, Sakuraba chased this guy all the way down and broke his elbow and shoulder. Okay, but we don't necessarily have to go around. What I can do is actually step through his base, and now I can create that action much faster. That doesn't say that we're not going to have some circular motion as you try to cut that line, but you're really going to have a better angle if you move through there. All right, last key, especially when you have a height difference, right? And you're working for this. Boom, I start to go for that move, pop, right? And I'm leaning on it. I'm leaning my base so I stay low the whole time. And now I move that elbow to center and start to push as I get that crank. All right, that's the key. Don't get in the habit of one, standing high, or two, getting low and trying to lift. Remember, I need to get that elbow in, and now I can push to achieve for that better armbar position. For the third variation, and this is useful for level 4, so green sash and above, out of the bear hug number 2, is you can flow from this Kimura or power hammerlock position to a simple chicken wing position and square up, or even move to the chicken wing control grips and move to knee strikes, or transition to a headlock like a guillotine, right? So moving into the chokes. So for example, if we're going really slow on this, I might go here, get my first position and feel like I just can't get the angle, right? No matter how deep I step, because he starts to bend the arm. So now I can flow, right? So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep these arms together and get here before I go to the next move. This is important that I don't let go, right? There's no gaps here. I was in this position, all I do is I just move right through, keeping it locked the whole time. What's helpful about this is if I need to transition to, say, knee strikes, all I do is cut my hands and just start slamming with the knee, right? I've got all kinds of adaptability. I can shock his base like this. All I did was just simply grab my own hands in a gable grip. So that's a nice transition. But I can also just move simply to this idea of moving into the chicken wing. Okay, so I'll show you from a different angle. Let's start here. So as I'm moving in, pop, drag, start to get my move. It doesn't work. I make that transition. I cut my hands. I drive down, shove the elbow, and now I've got the chicken wing here, right? Or I've got knee strikes, or I've got uppercuts. You know, all kinds of good stuff as I've got a great control of his shoulder. I can just rip the shoulder from there. So that's really helpful when somebody starts to counter that Kimura, right? Counter that Kimura. So I can move just to a standard chicken wing. One more time from this angle. He's got a hold of me. I'm gonna break out. I go for my move. I feel like it's not happening. I shove it up through, drive it down. Now I'm going to town with whatever move you've got, all right? That's a more advanced application. Get used to that flow. Finally, moving into a guillotine, okay? From that position, breaking out, starting to move, getting the transition. I don't feel like I have it. I post his head because I feel him squaring up, and I move right to the choke. So from here, just looking to get the finish, driving my base in. As I lock it in, block his posture, check my watch, what time is it? It's time for him to tap, all right? Pushing my chest into him so that he gets folded, all the pressure's on the neck, all right? One more time, nice and easy. I'm breaking out, I get the drag, I feel, let's turn this way, Jason. I start to get this move, I don't feel like I have it, maybe he's crunching in. So I block the head, I flow right to guillotine, I go right there. There's the finish, all right? So we're never searching for a move. If it's not there, I flow right to the next one. If that one's there, I flow to the next move. Don't try to take something that's not there. At the same token, develop all of the transitions well enough and clear enough that you know how to get past basic resistance and you can still set up your move and finish. And also knowing how far is too far, right? Before you need to abandon something and move forward. The difference between a beginning practitioner and an advanced practitioner is a clear understanding of the transitions, the position, and the submissions. Knowing when to give it up and go to the next one because it's available, right? So practice that. Practice each individually and then put them together for maximal flow. Good luck.